Okay.
Lynn, we don't still have the share screen function. It still says host.
Okay. Okay. Try now.
Yeah, I can now. It's okay. Thank you.
Tin-Sing Chow, who is, I think he doesn't have microphone capability, but he sends his, says hello to everyone. He'll be able to hear us, but I don't believe he will be able to communicate with us or speak to us.
Rohit, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. A game of chess, Moore's Law, and COVID-19.
Okay.
Checkmate in 3 moves, if I
yeah.
correctly. Okay, it is 12:02 p.m. and out of respect to those of you who are already out there, I'm going to go ahead and bang the drum and call this meeting to order. At this time, I'd like to have our guests introduce themselves. We have 2 guests, both of whom were invited by Tai Fukuroku, who was our guest last meeting from Maui. So if I may, would you introduce yourself, please, Chelsea?
Hi, everyone. My name is Chelsea. I work at Enviro Services and Training Center here on Oahu. I work with Airports Division and Harbors Division on their stormwater programs and do a lot of inspections, help with permitting and stuff like that. And this is my first Toastmasters meeting.
Okay, you have a very nice office.
Oh, this is my house. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Chelsea. And let's see if we could have Kanani introduce herself, please, Kanani.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kanani Kea. I work for Enviro Services and Training Center with Chelsea. I currently work on a project with Tai Fukuroku. So Tai Fukuroku is the program manager. I'm the project manager from Enviro Services and Training Center. We're his private consultants to help manage their stormwater program on Maui. So he invited Chelsea and I to this Toastmasters. So we're super happy to be a part of this. It's our first time doing Toastmasters. So thank you guys for having us. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kanani. Thank you very much for being here, both you and Chelsea as well. Now, let's see, Kanani, are you, is that your office or is that your home?
This is my home.
Okay, and then are you on Maui now, did you say?
No, so the project that I manage is on Maui. I live on Oahu, so my boss and I both manage it from Oahu, and we have a staff there as well.
Okay, excellent. Okay. In that case, allow me to move on to the next item on the agenda, and that is the approval of the minutes. At this time, you all had a chance to take a look at the minutes. Is there are any changes, additions, deletions to the minutes, please? Hearing none, then the minutes have been approved as circulated. The next item on the agenda is the office reports. The VP of Education is Ann Myers, but I don't see Ann. She has not joined the meeting yet. So we shall hold her report off and we'll defer her report until she arrives. And I hope she arrives soon because she's the evaluator for Pradip's speech. The next one is the VP of Membership. VP of Membership is Eva Pinney. She is hard at work right now in the Department of Labor. So I'd like to give her report. And that is, first of all, for those of you out there, as you know, the membership dues are due by the end of this month of September. If you are a Department of Transportation employee, not to worry, your dues will, your renewals will be paid for by the Department of Transportation. Everyone else who is not a DOT member will be coming around with hand in hand asking for your renewal dues before the end of the month. So please keep that in mind. The second item is we have two new members, or almost new members, one of whom is Tai Fukuroku, who sent in his application yesterday, and we will be processing it, and he will soon become a member a new member before you know it. I would like to thank Lynn Araki-Regan for inviting Tai, and also for Tai for inviting Chelsea and Kanani as well to this meeting. The other item is Julie, excuse me, Julie Jepson, who is she works for a consultant, in SSFM and involved with the HEART project here in Honolulu. She also expressed interest. She has her company SSFM in a headlock right now, and she's going to squeeze out the dues from them. And then before you know it, I am very sure that she will be joining us as a new member. She's expressed a lot of interest in joining us. So we have potentially 2 new members coming in this month and the month of September. I see, if I may take a quick public service announcement, I see that Millie Murakami, who is our timer for today, has just joined us, as well as our excuse me, as well as our table topics master, Mazda Macrea. So I'd like to recognize them for joining us. Okay. At this time, I'd like to ask our VP of Public Relations to give her report. Lynn Araki-Regan, if you would please.
I have nothing to report except for that I'm still working on the youth Toastmaster program. So I hope to get more details and a schedule by the next Toastmasters meeting. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Lynn, for all that you do, both for membership and social media, et cetera like that. Is there any unfinished business? None. Okay. Is there any new business? Okay. None either. Okay. Any announcements? Okay. If none, I have a very quick few announcements. First of all, I would like to congratulate Madalena Lai, who is our secretary, for successfully mentoring the HMCOA Toastmasters Club from its startup 2 years ago. That club has attained distinguished status through Madalena's hard work and dedication. She did receive a certificate, and I'm very pleased to say that Madalena has worked extremely hard getting that particular Toastmasters Club on their feet and becoming a distinguished club. So Madalena, congratulations on that. Ann Myers and I will be contacting the new members, for example, let's see, Julie Jepson and also Ty, for, excuse me, to arrange to go over the Pathways program with them. If there is anyone else out there, any current Toastmasters would like to listen to the Ann and Royden Traveling Roadshow, this is via Zoom or Teams, either one. We're more than happy to go over that with you. Takes between 30 minutes to 60 minutes. We'll go over the status of your Pathways program. If you haven't already signed up, we'll get you signed up, help you choose a path, and then after that, send you on your way. Okay? So again, if anyone would like that, please email me, and then we'll set something up so we can have that show ready for you to go. Finally, our next meeting is going to be 3 weeks from now. That'll be on October 6th. Now, October 6th, that's the first Tuesday in October. Is there anyone out there who would like to speak, to give their next speech? Anyone? Ooh. Everyone's so shy. Okay, in that case, we'll go ahead. Yes.
I'll do it. I'll do another one. Why not?
Excellent. Sounds like a Randall. Is that you, Randall?
It is.
Okay.
Good to see you, Royden.
Okay, Randall. I see a black screen out there with a white dot there. But...
I'm hiding right now. I'm in fear because I'm about to give another speech.
Okay. Hey, Ann. Okay. Well, thanks very much, Randall. Randall will be giving his second speech this meeting, and he's going to give his third speech, which will qualify him to have met the first level in his Pathways program. So thank you very much, Randall. Is anybody else out there who would like to give their speech? We have an opening for one more. Okay, if not, then Ann Myers and I will go headhunting, I guess, between now and then. So, okay.
I'd love to actually.
Oh,
I want to go to my next level. So I want to complete my speech.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Anne. We shall put you down as speaker number 2
Lynn.
right after Randall.
That's Lynn.
Okay.
That's
Lynn.
Lynn.
And then,
Who did I
Not
say?
One of
Anne.
those. One of
Okay.
Anne.
I saw Anne's picture. I get distracted very easily by when I see people, so I call people all different kind of names. So please bear with me. All right. Okay. Having said that, allow me to go ahead and get started on our meeting. Unfortunately, our grammarian Julie Chun is not able to be with us today. So for all intents and purposes, everyone, all the speakers today have a free pass. They really don't have a word of the day to contend with, and nor are we going to be checking people's ahs, you knows, and all other word distractors. But we do have the timer today. She hails from Mililani, formerly from Waipahu. Please welcome our timer for today, Mili Murakami.
Not Waipahu, from Eva.
Yeah, I thought it was Eva, but I keep on forgetting where you're from. Okay, Mili, if you would please,
Okay.
your timing.
I'm not prepared, but I know that for the prepared speech, it's 5 to 7 minutes. So at 5 minutes, I will put up my green card. And then at 6 minutes, my yellow card. And at 7 minutes, my pink card, which represents red. And then you have 30 seconds after that to wrap up your speech. For the evaluations, is it 2 to 3 minutes?
Yes, 2 to 3.
Okay, so at 2 minutes, I will do it green, and 2.5 my yellow, and then at 3 the pink. And for table topics, it's 1.5 minutes to 2.5. Is that right?
1 to
For
2.
table topics.
Yeah,
Oh,
1 to 2
okay.
minutes. Mhm.
1
At
to 2.
1, it'll be green, and 1.5 it's yellow, and 2 is pink. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Millie. We have 2 featured speakers today, both of whom are going to be presenting their second project, first level in their Pathways program. Our first speaker has lived on 4 different continents, and excuse me, I'm sorry. He likes to explain complex phenomena through simple examples. Here now to present his second project entitled A Game of Chess, Moore's Law, and COVID-19 Pandemics. Please welcome Dr. Pradip Pant.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President and fellow Toastmaster. Let me share my screen. I've got only a couple of slides to actually share. I'm talking about a game of chess, Moore's Law, and COVID-19. Let me start with this place. This is Sri Krishna Temple, Amal Puja at Kerala, India. And on the right is a rice pudding or porridge, and it's called palsam, and it is served daily at the Sri Krishna Temple in that area. So that is the actual picture of the temple over there. According to the legend, many thousands of years ago, there was a king who ruled that region, and he was a great player of chess. So he would challenge anybody coming to his kingdom for a game of chess. So one day a yogi came in, and as usual, he would just challenge the yogi. And then to entice the yogi, he said that, I'll just provide you whatever you want, just name it. And the yogi said, I'm a modest mean, I don't need anything, I just need few grains of rice. If I win, let the chessboard decide the amount of grain that I will get. 1 grain, we'll start with 1 grain on the first square. The next square would have 2 grain. The third square would have 4 grain. And as we go on to the end of this chessboard, and whatever grains would be there, I'll just take that. The king readily agreed, thinking that it would just, be a sack of rice. And then they start playing chess. And it happened that the king was no match to the yogi. And then the king, being true to his oaths, he ordered his battalion to bring sacks of rice so that he can offer the prize to the yogi. And as he started adding grains to rice, he found out that it was not that easy. When he started from the first square, it was just 1 grain. On the second square, it was 2. By the 10th square, it was 512 grains. By the 21st square of the chess, it was more than 1 million grains. And by the 41st square, it was more than 1 trillion grains. By that time, his warehouses were empty, so he had to just accept the defeat. At that time, the yogi actually revealed his identity. He was no other than Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna told the king, said that, okay, forget about actually you being able to fulfill your promise. Why don't you just provide this on installment and actually start providing that porridge, the palpasham, in my temple for the remaining of whatever your life, and continue it forever. So that's why at that temple still they serve that rice pudding every day. Okay, that is the story. But let's continue with what actually would happen if he had actually went up to the 64th square. So on 64th square, it would be 9.22 billion grains of grain. Actually, it is 922 and 16 zeros after that. Just think about that. To put it in the context, on the 64th square itself, there will be 168 billion metric tons of rice on that 1 square. And to put it in a context, in actual sense, last year, the annual global grain rice production was 700 million metric tons, about 0.7 billion metric tons. So it would take 480 years of annual grain production to actually fulfill the king's promise. And for that, of course, we, our children, and our several generations of our grandchildren would have to forgo eating rice. Well, that is the deal. There are several similar, other versions of chessboard story, including one with Chinese emperor and an old man. But the lesson of compounding math remains unchanged. Now, let me take you to fast forward to 5,000 years. A guy called Gordon Moore observed that the number of transistors in a dense integrated circuit, that is called IC, doubles every 2 years. That is basically called Moore's law. Moore's law essentially follows the chessboard's exponential calculus. Moore's law means ever more computing, powerful computers that we have nowadays. Just think about that. The iPad 2, which actually was released in 2011 and actually is obsolete right now, has an equivalent computing power of 1984 supercomputer used by the Department of Defense. So that is how the computing power changes every 2 years, every couple of years. Exponential computing is what we expect and how we expect to get to an informational society of tomorrow with automation and robotics. And of course, depending on which side you are, it is also how we're going to reach, we are going to be in the era of Skynet, artificial intelligence, and the Terminators. Now, this brings me to another more recent phenomena, that is COVID-19. COVID-19 is still another version of the chessboard game. Let's assume that each infected person will transmit the virus to another uninfected person, effectively doubling the infection per transmission rate. Using the math used in the chess game, it just takes 33 cycles or 66 weeks to actually infect the total population in the world. That is 7.8 million of us living in the world. That is about 1 year and 4 months. Of course, unconstrained one-to-one infection is not what is happening because we use masks, social distancing, teleworking, but the theoretical construct is still there. It could happen. The ancient Hindu mythology of Palpasham, the porridge, the story of Chinese emperor, a future informational society or a rule of Skynet and Terminators, although look different from different angles, and they look at a discrete element. But all these events spanning millions have a common element, a science unbiased by political calculus or human sentiment. The reality that we are sharing this information, studying at the computer and in a Toastmaster virtual event is the fact and is the reality of exponential power and the growth. Yes, this is the game of chess. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pradeep. That was a very enlightening presentation about COVID-19 and rice and chess. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight, knowing how quickly those transmission rates could possibly be, but it's a very point well taken, a point very well taken. Thank you, Pradeep. Our next speaker says that if he were to describe his mantra, it would be, when the going gets weird, the weird turns pro. He is none other than Randall Landry II. He is presenting his second speech, level 1, the title and introduction to Randall Landry II, version 2, Electric Boogaloo. Please welcome Randall Landry.
Thank you very much, President, and thank you to all of the members of the Toastmasters group for transportation here in Hawaii. After watching Pradeep's speech, I feel smarter, and I feel like he must have been draining all my brain power, because my speech on this second go around is going to be very dumb, especially when I found out that my evaluator is going to be none other than my manager, Miss Melanie Martin. Manager, fantastic. I already know that I decided on the first go around, I gave everyone a standard speech about myself. I was critiqued, and in the absence of having any good topic to talk about, because Pradeep was stealing all my brain power, I decided to go with a second run on the speech about myself for Pathways. So please keep that in mind. I hope everything works. We'll find out. Let's ride this thing. So with that, an introduction to Randall Landry 2, version 2, Electric Boogaloo. I hope all of you get the reference. I'm sorry you have to go through this again, everyone, by the way. So with that in mind, let's keep going. Okay, who is Randall Landry? Is he a successful architect out of Maine? Still no. Is he a potential deviant out of Montreal? Still no, but that guy's still there. I still get his emails. Is he an almost retired natural gas plant regional manager out of Shreveport? Also no, but soon my dad will be retiring, so good for him. But he still is a very unsuccessful Title VI program specialist struggling throughout his life to seize defeat from the jaws of victory. And to add on to that, and to tie back into a previous speech by the wonderful Dr. Takeno, to measure myself via the Chris Takeno analytical method of dabbler versus specialist, I'm a third category heretofore ignored by said Takeno analytical method, the dunce. I do feel I'm a big dunce. If I dabble, I do it poorly. If I specialize in something, I do it poorly. So dunce it is. Okay. Oh. A brief history about me. I was born in the wild, arid hinterlands outside of Laredo, Texas in the 1980s. I survived to adulthood without much difficulty, surprisingly. I'm still shocked about that every day. I'm the first graduate of higher education in my immediate family. I'm the first law school graduate out of the extended family. And what does that mean? That means I get the occasional, say once a month, maybe every 3 months, Texas legal question, of which I say, I'm not a lawyer there. I don't know, go get you one. And currently I am a Title VI program specialist for HDOT, as I had mentioned before. I am, scratch that line, I'm not an equal rights advisor reservist for FEMA anymore. Now they call us civil rights advisor reservist. And I used to be the HDOT liaison for the 2020 Census Hawaii Government Complete Count Committee. But as that has retired, as we're getting towards the end of the 2020 census, that all of that has begun to wrap up or is effectively wrapped up. And I'm still surprised or I am employed, excuse me. Maybe by the end of this, I won't be, but who knows? We'll find out. And here's a long list of interests for me that the last time we went through all this, I went through them all. It was really boring. Everyone looked very bored. I saw Royden yawn a little bit. So we're not going to go through this all again. Let's just say that now, in the event that we have COVID-19, that we have all of our lives upended because of this. We're all working from home, or we're all having to restrict our activities. We're all having to wear a mask. We're all having to avoid gathering socially. A lot of this stuff has become much more of that academic exercise. But at the same time, I, and perhaps you have as well, have found solace in the simple things. A new thing I found to enjoy, which as you would see right here, is watching a Japanese cook cut and prepare seafood on YouTube. It is a fantastic thing. I love it. I recommend you watch it. His name is Kimagori Cook. He cooks some weird stuff, but boy, he prepares it well and it looks great. And I'm worried, as his friends are, that he's going to get gout one day. But it is what it is. All right. Oh. Okay, some interesting achievements about me. As I've said before, I have won an open karaoke singing contest. I earned $75 for singing a drunken rendition of the song Aerials by System of a Down. I made the mistake of being a development editor for the Texas Intellectual Property Law Journal, setting up a symposium back in 2010. The highlight of that symposium is wearing a full suit and having to take my 40-inch TV from home and carry it up about 2 flights of stairs in order to set it up to use as a makeshift projector. It was great. I loved it. Let's see. Despite being a terrible runner, I completed the Great Aloha Run in 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 31 seconds. My knees are shot, but that's life. Everyone knew that from the last time around, but I got to talk about it. A new one I've added. I studied Taekwondo for 7 years as a kid. I probably can't kick to save my life. If I'm in a confrontation, I'm in deep trouble. But hey, I studied it. I did something. It's like my mom says about Spanish. He studied it for 4 years. He didn't learn a thing. And I still haven't passed the Hawaii bar exam, but I did pass the customs broker exam on the first try. Next slide. On the first speech, we talked about this. How would I rate my speech performance? All ones. We all know this. It was all very bad. Hated it. On the second go around, unfortunately, got a little bit of an artifact here, but oh, that sucks. That's how it happens, folks, when you got a silly PowerPoint and you don't quality test beforehand. That little yellow square should be at the 2 where I need to improve my communication skills. And then that X will be cutting out the 1. I've learned a little bit more since last time, but as you can see, I'm still doing terribly. And with that, I just want to thank everyone for watching this and letting me jabber on for about a good 5 minutes or so. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much. Randall, that's an excellent, very humorous, better than the first time. And I didn't know you could have improved on the first time. You were very modest, but I think everyone who did listen to your first speech will say that was a cat's meow on your first speech, but you improved it even more. So this time, I'd like to.
Royden, if I may interrupt, I'll be sending you that $20 in the mail for the compliments. Just wait for it.
Yes, thank you. And don't forget to add the tax and tip, please. Tax and tip. Thank you very much.
Randall, I have a question.
Yes,
Why
sir.
are you wearing spectacles?
Because I wanted to shake things up a bit. Last time we did a very standard speech. I went through the motions. Personally, I felt it was very boring. I could list things out, as we all know, and as part of the reason why we're here. When you give a speech, you do not want to go and engage in the sort of rote, just repeating of lines on your PowerPoint. So last go around, I realized that I was kind of doing that. At least in my head, I was doing that. I wasn't happy about that. So this go around, I decided to just switch it up and, in a sense, deconstruct what I had done before, avoid trying to do that, try to make it more dynamic, more engaging. I actually added music to this too. I don't know if y'all heard it, but I don't think I turned on the computer audio. But I was trying to really just, or how would I put this? Inject a little dynamism in my speech. So hopefully that helped, along with the glasses.
Thank you very much, Randall. Next on the agenda is our table topic session to be led by the very capable Maza Macrea. We haven't done a sound check with Maza, and I think the last time he was there, he was at the meeting, he had difficulty, but I wanted to see.
Can you hear me? I think you can.
Yes, I can. Maza, if I may, as I introduce you, I would like to invite you to invite the following people to participate in the table topics, in your table topic session. Perhaps, the first person to speak will be a non-guest. So our two guests, Chelsea and Kanani, will have a taste or kind of like a little dabble in exactly what table topics is involved. So I'm looking for a non-role player. I see Madalena Lai is out there. She is joining us by phone. So she may be a person of interest. And the other two, of course, is either Chelsea, well, actually either, both Chelsea and Kanani, who both of them said that they were game. They'd be more than happy to participate in the table topic. So at this time, I would like to introduce our table topic master for today, Maza Macrea. Maza.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. This is one of the most special times in Toastmaster day that in the hour that we spend together. And it's supposed to be think on your feet quick and answer quick. You have only about 2 to 3 minutes to give an answer. And it is also free, meaning there will be no points taken, no accounts taken. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just share from your heart and be free. And that's pretty much what the table topics is. And of course, enjoy. This is one of those things that I really enjoy, thinking on my feet and the ability to respond to questions that are maybe coming out of the blue. And I'm going to be asking, I will just say what the questions are and then call on people. And I'm glad that both Chelsea and Kanini are game. And well, probably depending on how much time we have, I have about 2 or 3 questions. So hopefully we'll see what last week was 9/11, and it's amazing day, and especially for me, 9/11 has some special things because 9/11 happens to be Ethiopian New Year. For all of you who don't know, it is we have both Ethiopia and a few other countries in Africa have their New Year. In Egypt and Libya, as well as some people in Sudan share, even though Egypt, not all of Egypt celebrates that as a New Year. Most of the Coptic people celebrate that as a New Year. And so a special day. And then it also is a special day in the United States. It's a day that remembered in infamy. And the question is, where were you on 9/11, 2001? If you were born, and some of you may not even be born on 9/11, that's or you might be too young to remember, so you can pass that. But the other second attached question is, what if you were president that day and at that time, and what would you do if considering having just a rear view mirror now, looking back, and what would you do if you were the president at that time? So this is the question, and I am going to see. I think there's a question. 2 to 3 minutes is the answer. So hopefully, the question from both Chelsea and Kanani. I think Kanani. I'm sorry if I misspelled. If I mispronounce your name. So let's see between. I will ask Chelsea. Would you be kind enough to respond? As I say, there's no wrong or right answer, and you have 2 to 3 minutes to be able to. 1 to 2 minutes? Is it 1 to 2 minutes?
Maza, this is
Yes.
Melanie. I just wanted to sorry to interrupt, but I think Royden wanted one of the Toastmaster members to go first, so Kanasi could see how it's done, like how we would do the table topic. Unless
Okay.
Chelsea is game, but that's what he wanted, I think. Yeah, Royden?
Yeah, thank you, Melody. Yeah, if you would please, Maza, and perhaps you could ask someone like somebody who does not have a role today to play, perhaps.
Maybe Len.
The evaluator, sorry.
Yeah.
You are
Okay,
evaluator. Okay.
There's
So
we
who-
have,
who
we have.
has who doesn't have Zach?
Let's see. Yeah, Zach, you game to do that?
I can, yeah. So what would I do if I were president when 9/11 happened? I think the first thing I would have done was fly out to New York and ground zero and kind of show support for the governor there, show support for the people, the state, and the families who had to go through that tragedy. Secondly, basically the same things that the president at the time did is try to send resources to that state and help out. And I think one thing that I would focus on too is trying to make people feel safer at the airport, safer about traveling. I think a lot of people, the economy kind of tanked for a little bit and nobody was traveling. There was a lot of fear going around, quite similar to what we're going through now. But I think I would have focused a lot on making people feel safe and understanding really what happened, trying to be as transparent as possible and getting through it. I don't wish the presidency on anyone. I know that's a really hard job and encompasses so many details and things to do. But as far as 9/11, I think that's all I can come up with, and maybe just a little more support for the families that lost family members during that time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's a very nice, good answer. And now, okay, I think we will pass by this one. The second question that maybe we'll see who would, but the second question is about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is coming. I know it's still September. There's still other dates in between, like, okay, other days that are holidays, Columbus Day, and of course, the scary day, that's the All Saints Day coming up. But I think of Thanksgiving, and especially with COVID, a lot of people, it's brought a lot of stress in everybody else's life. But there are many things that we can be thankful. We can think about, and there's one of my favorite songs called "Count Your Blessings." Name them one by one, and you thank many things. And what are the things that you are thankful for? That you think about, that you are grateful in your life, and why. You can share with us something personal that you're very thankful and grateful. And that would be the question. And how about I'll take Kanani, if that's okay. Maybe Kanani would answer that.
Yeah, I would love to. That's a great question. So definitely as the holidays come up, I definitely have been thinking about things that I'm thankful for. And I think with working from home, as a lot of us are doing right now, I'm definitely thankful for my family, having a great support system here at home and having people that are cheering me on as we are going through very unprecedented, uncertain times has been really helpful and just really key in my life. And especially now with everything going on, I would, I'm definitely looking forward to Thanksgiving and the holidays, and I'm sure they will be really different this year and this time around, but I think in a better and more positive way as everyone is coming closer and connecting in ways that they haven't before. So definitely my family and yeah.
Thank you very much. That's wonderful, and being able to appreciate everything that sometimes you take for granted and you don't realize. But in times like this, you come together, and family and other things that are more important become very prominent, and that's wonderful. And okay, do I have any extra time to ask a third question, or? How are we doing with time, Mr. Toastmaster?
Mazda, we're doing very well. In fact, we have time for one more question. I see Chelsea, she's leaning forward toward her camera. She's just waiting. She can't wait to get questioned by you, Mazda. So please, if you would.
Okay, wow. Well, this third question is sort of, it is a borderline, controversial. And one of the things that I was completely surprised to have listened to, two people that I have admired in many ways. One was the law professor from Harvard, Mr. Alan Dershowitz. And then another person was Robert Kennedy Jr., who's the son of former presidential candidate as well as Senator Robert Kennedy. And both of them, the amazing thing is, both good friends were debating, and it looked like they were debating, and the debate was fascinating debate, and I recommend everybody to listen to it actually. And the question I have is to Chelsea. Well, I don't want to say to Chelsea because, maybe, I don't know if the possibility I won't choose Chelsea, but anyway, it's vaccination. What is your view on vaccination? Is it good, or always good, or not so good, or any other idea? Tell us what you feel, and have you ever had a vaccination, and what have you felt about as a kid? And whatever. Tell us your experience. And tell us what you think. It is something that is very relevant that we can think about coming in the future. And okay, we picked Chelsea. We have no one to pick anymore. All right. Okay, Chelsea, it's yours.
So when I was a kid, I got all of my regular vaccinations. I remember always feeling nervous. It's always kind of a weird situation when you go into the doctor's office and someone's going to hurt you in some way, even though it is good. But moving forward to today, I haven't gotten a flu vaccination in a very long time, to be honest. Even my company offers a flu shot clinic where someone comes in to give it to you. I've always been a little nervous, and I prefer more holistic healing. But I do believe that vaccinations are important as well. But for me personally, I try to stay away from them.
Thank you very much. You're so transparent and very honest, straightforward. And I think both of you first-time table topic contestant. and there is a contest that's hopefully you'll join, but you have done extremely well. You speak very well and speak clearly. And I think, I don't know if you don't have any Toastmaster team, membership, you are welcome to join Transportation Toastmaster. You fit very well. Wonderful, and thank you. I think that's it. I'm done, Royden.
Okay.
Take over. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mazda, for those three very interesting questions that you had. It is now 12:45-ish. Thank you, Mazda, for bringing us right on time. Our evaluation session is headed by, let's see, is headed by a son of two Marines. You heard him on his first speech, I am we, a good speaker. In fact, you heard him earlier today. Please welcome our general evaluator for the very first time, Zach Watson. Zach?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. And I will also be sending my $20 to you.
Thank you.
My role as general evaluator is to introduce each evaluator for each speaker, as well as the table topics evaluator and some of the reporters. I'd like to remind everybody that each evaluation has about 2 to 3 minutes and to try and stay in that time frame. But now I'd like to call on our first evaluator, Ann Myers, to evaluate Pradeep Pant's speech.
Thank you, Zach. Awesome speech, Pradeep. Oh, there you are. Everything off. What your main point was on the exponential. And I tell you, I just tell you a personal story. My brother, who's an economics and a mathematics major, I asked, and we always call him Mr. Know-It-All about everything. So I asked him when I was in college, I said, so what is the most important thing that I should know in the world? And he told me it's exponentials. He said, everything in life is about exponentials. Math, everything. Even the plants, everything evolves about its exponential. So he's showing me these things, and so I just share that I got so interested in Pradeep's explanation. What I liked about Pradeep is really, didn't you at the end of the speech, and Royden said it, you got to think to yourself, oh my, this COVID, oh my. Because he was presenting such big numbers, right? And all of us can see those big numbers. So I give you kudos, Pradeep. You can see how intellectual you are and how you've really woven each of your stories to build upon each other. And that's what I would say to all of you too, is to build those stories and to reinforce each of the stories so that you can come to a conclusion. The couple things I would ask Pradeep for you to work on is, I know on the pacing, is to make sure that you give people pause, and more than just a pause for you is give them something like a rhetorical question, something, so that when you've made that really important point, that they know, I should have paid attention right there. And if they had missed it, go ahead and say it again or in another way so that they know that is your main important point that you want to make. And I would say too is to slow down just a tad. Your pacing is good, but just a tad so that we can hear your message throughout. And maybe sometimes with all of the numbers is you kind of try to dummy it down, but maybe even more, because this is a very short speech to give. I love your speeches because they have something that's in context for today, relevance, but it also shows us, because you showed us that I was so intrigued by that rice, actually. I was thinking, ooh, that looks so good to eat, the rice pudding. And also the I think it's a palace when you do those visuals, it's so good, and it kind of puts that into our mind as well. So I look forward to future speeches. Excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you, Anne.
Okay, our second evaluator will be Melanie Martin, giving an evaluation for Randall Landry's speech.
Aloha, everyone. I'm not going to turn my video on because I noticed that I was glowing. Something's wrong with my camera. So sometimes I'm like shiny and sometimes I'm not so shiny. And I felt like it was very distracting. So I'm going to leave it off for now. As long as you can hear me, then fine. And I have sincerest apologies to Randall. I texted him because right in the middle of his speech, the guy fixing my screen door called me to come and look. And I felt so bad because when I went to go look, it's like there's a space at the top and there's like, it didn't flush to the wall. So I'm like, oh no. So he went to City Mail and hopefully he can fix it. But I'm going to ask that Randall give me his speech at another time so that I can fairly evaluate him. But I did listen to the first part where he was talking about who is Randall Landry. And I have to tell you, Randall Landry is no dunce. He is very intelligent. He has a law degree. He is our in-house IT person. He can fix any IT issue that we have. And he is no dunce. And he's so funny. And I know he was funny in his speech because at the end, when I came back and I saw the evaluation form and everybody was laughing, I knew that his speech was really, really funny. So with that said, I'm going to shorten my speech and say, Randall, great job. And I look forward to listening to your speech at a later time. Sorry.
Oh dear.
Thank you, Melanie. Our
Thank you,
third
Melanie.
evaluator will be Lynn Araki-Regan, who will be evaluating the table topic session. Go ahead, Lynn.
Thank you, Zach. I thought the 3 table topic speakers did an excellent job in talking about very relevant, timely topics. So kudos to Maza for those questions. Thought they were really appropriate and like I said, very timely and relevant. Zach, I thought you did an excellent job. You know, it's a very sensitive, difficult topic to talk about, very emotional, and to be in the shoes of the president and how the president would have to decide, or what he would do, he or she would do, would be a very difficult question to answer. But I thought, you know, you spoke very well. You were articulate. I thought you spoke very sincerely, and your response was very well thought out. So good job, Zach. Kanani, I thought likewise you spoke very fluently. Despite being a guest, you're very poised and you're very confident, and you know, you spoke from the heart. Working from home, you talked about teleworking, you talked about, you know, that you're thankful for family and a good support system. You know, everything you said was came out very sincere. So I thought you spoke very well, and it you gave the impression that you've been a Toastmaster in another life, or that you have experience with speaking, so public speaking. So good job. Likewise, Chelsea, I thought you did a great job. You were very forthright in answering the view about vaccination. You know, although you believe in it, you know, you personally would do things a little bit more naturally, I guess, without the use of vaccination. But, you know, you believed in the importance of it. You were, like I said, transparent. You were honest. And like Kanani, as well as Zach, you're very poised and confident. So we look forward to both of you joining the club. It's a great club and we have a lot of fun. So Good job, everyone. And kudos, like I said, to Maza for excellent topics. Mahalo.
Thank you, Lynn. So we're now moving into our report section. We are missing our grammarian, but I'm going to call upon our timer, Millie Murakami. Are you there, Millie?
Can you hear? Yes, I hear. Can you
Okay.
hear me? I think we're supposed to wear our mask. I'm at work, so I think we're supposed to wear it all the time. So I have the time for, oh, and Pradeep, I'm sorry, when I was taking your time, I had some technical difficulties and I couldn't hear, but I still saw you on the screen. So I think that you were at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. And Randall, I have you at 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Zach, you are 1 minute and 7 seconds. Hanani, 57 seconds. And for Chelsea, 48 seconds. It was great. All of you spoke within your time limit. Hanani and Chelsea, maybe in your future questions, you could expand a little bit longer, but it was perfect. And Zach, I had you at 3 minutes, 23 seconds for evaluation. Brando, 1 minute, 42 seconds. And Lynn at 2 minutes, 34 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Millie. Overall, for the evaluation of the general meeting, I think it was an excellent meeting. I think they just keep getting better and better. Everybody did their roles perfectly. The two speakers were excellent. Pradeep, I kept thinking about how Moore's law could apply to salaries, and salaries could, grow exponentially, like the rice grains. And then Randall, awesome speech, hilarious. I had to mute myself upon muting myself. I was laughing so hard. Love the guests. Thank you for joining. You guys did an excellent job. So eloquent, articulate. Hope you join soon. And other than that, I see time's running out. I'm going to pass it back to our master Toastmaster, Royden. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much, Zach. I appreciate it. You did an excellent job transitioning from one topic speaker to another topic speaker. You don't miss a beat. Very professional. That's well done, Zach. Very well done. At this time, traditionally, what we always do is that we ask our guests for their impressions of the meeting, any takeaways that they may have at the meeting or of the meeting itself. So let's see. Kanani, you were the first table topic speaker. So if you would, your thoughts about the meeting, good or bad?
Oh, this meeting was awesome. Thank you guys so much for having Chelsea and I. Like Zach said, Randall, your speech was very funny and amusing. I'm glad that I was muted because I was definitely laughing. So thank you for that. And Pradeep, yours was very, wow. I was a little over my head, but very, very interesting and very informative. And I'm glad to be a part of this. Definitely excited and feel very welcome. So thank you guys. Really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much, Kanani. And we'll turn it over to Chelsea, if you would, please. Your thoughts?
I definitely felt the same way as Kanani. This was great introduction to Toastmasters. This group looks awesome. You look like a fun group to practice public speaking with, and all of your topics today were very interesting, and I think we could learn a lot from working with you guys. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chelsea. And we have a member out there. He's very shy, or he has very difficult time with his camera and his microphone. Tin Shing Chow is out there. So Tin, are you out there? I see a blank screen out there, but if you'd like to say a few words. No. Yeah, he has a difficult time with the computer hookup, and
he sent a text. He sent a text saying excellent meeting.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah,
okay,
chat box. Yeah.
I'll see if I can run him down. He and I work in the same building, so he's up on the 4th floor. I'll make sure I get hold of him and thank him for attending the meeting today. At this time, I would like to. It's almost a little bit past 1 o'clock. Yes.
Royden, this is
Yep.
Millie. Sorry, I have
Millie.
one correction. So when I said Randall, that should have been Melanie evaluating Randall. So 1 minute, 42 seconds.
Okay. All righty. Very good. Thank you very much, Millie. At this time, I would like to thank our two guests, Chelsea and Kanani, for attending. Since Ty was the one who invited them, what we will do is we'll send over a copy of the guest introductory package that we normally give to our guests. I'll send it over to Ty, and I'll ask Ty to see if he can forward it on to both Kanani and to Chelsea. And if they are interested, they can join our club, or if not, then they're always welcome to attend any one of our meetings. No need to be a member, but just to participate, that'd be a lot of fun, I think. And our next meeting is scheduled for October 6th. That's going to be 3 weeks from now. We have two speakers. Randall Landry will be his third speech. I'm sure it'll be a roaring one, as well as Lynn Araki-Regan. And I want to thank Lynn very much. She's very subdued whenever she speaks in front of the camera itself, because she is helping our unemployment insurance division in the Department of Labor at the convention center. And at the people at the labor, we talk with our fists a lot of times, and the people are volunteering, like Lynn. I'm sure they're watching her and making sure that they're getting their money's worth out of her, and probably beating anybody who they see not working. So Lynn, we really appreciate you taking the time to attend the meetings under the threat of our labor supervisors out there. Those people are pretty mean, if you know what I mean out there. Okay, I think I've taken enough time. Again, our next meeting is 3 weeks from now, October 6th. Again, I'd like to thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you in 3 weeks. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. This meeting, according to the red eye there, is being recorded, and once Lynn is able to download everything, we will send everything out there to all of the members. And for Kanani and Chelsea, we'll send that link via Ty, so he can forward that on to you, and you'll be able to see everything that went on in the meeting, as well as yourselves on camera. Okay, having said that, everyone have a nice next 3 weeks, and see ya. Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody.
See ya.